Good afternoon. Welcome to our September meeting. My name is Fadi Faraj, and I serve as the ASCE Dallas branch president. I hope everyone enjoyed the Labor Day weekend. As we recognize Hispanic Heritage Month this September, I'd like to take a moment to honor the contributions, culture, and legacy of our Hispanic American civil engineers. Also, September is National Suicide Prevention Month, an important time to raise awareness and remind ourselves that each of us can play a role in preventing suicide. I'd like to acknowledge the people at the head table. On my far left, we have Reese Taylor, he's our past president. We have Dev Rastogi, she's our keynote speaker. And Elaine Jin, our programs chair. And on my right, we have Brad Hernandez representing Omega Engineers, our sponsor, and Nancy Klein, our Texas section director. Are there any past presidents of the branch among the crowd? Let's give them a round of applause. Are there any Texas section leadership? Let's give them a round of applause. Region 6 leadership, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Anyone from student chapters, UTA, EO? Any students among? I don't see any this month. We have to work on that. Any first-time attendees? All right, we have one right here. Next, I'm going to ask Patrick Williams for the pledge and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag Please be seated for the prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for this day and the opportunity to gather together. We're grateful for the talents you've given to us, and it is our prayer that we exercise them responsibly. May we be good stewards of the skill and wisdom you have entrusted to us, and to use them conscientiously, because our work not only influences the safety and welfare of our fellow humans, but also utilizes Earth's natural resources. Teach us to be humble, to show respect to one another, and work in a professional and ethical manner. I ask that you bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies. May our fellowship honor you and advance our profession. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Patrick. I want to thank our morning technical session speakers, Matthew Whelan and Song-Won Hong with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The topic was Mineral Wells Community Flood Assessment. Are they still among the crowd? There you go. Let's give them a round of applause. Next, I'm going to ask Reese to come talk to us about the ballot.
Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. As Fadi, our president, noted, I am Reese Taylor, your immediate past president of the branch. However, today I'm in front of you speaking on behalf as chair of the nominating committee. I'm curious, how many of you guys woke up today and realized that today is election day? Just me. All right. Well, let me catch you up to speed. If Boniface, if you're able to get that slide, I'd greatly appreciate it. This is an exciting time of the year for the branch. Last month in August, we, as the nominating committee, recommended a slate of nominees for 5 of the 9 officer positions that serve on the board of directors for the branch. As noted within an email that you may all, at least subscribing members, should have received, is 4 of the 9 positions really serve in succession, and that is president-elect to president, vice president to president, elect president to past president. I know you're really waiting for that one. And then the second term of treasurer, which is a 2-year term. The other 5 are up for election today and have been posted on our website for the last month. And I want to thank those of you that participated in the early voting and used the survey to do so. And given those results, I'm going to move to a verbal vote, which our bylaws do allow, given that it's nearly unanimous within the early voting polls. So for those of you that are subscribing members, I would like you to, I guess, respond in the affirmative to a question I'll pose in just a moment. If you are in favor of the recommended slate of nominees to serve in the described positions and offices, as well as those of you that are in favor, as I asked in that time. So, as presented by the nominating committee for vice president, secretary, technical director, branch director, and the Texas section director, all those in favor of approving the recommended slated nominees, please affirm by saying aye. All those opposed by the sign nay. All right. Congratulations to our nominees to being elected into their respective offices. And I want to encourage everybody to join us next month at our annual meeting where these elected nominees will be installed into their positions officially. That will be Monday, October the 20th at our annual meeting. And they will be, their installation will be presided by ASCE President-elect Carol Haddock. We're very excited to see her here. So thank you again for allowing me this brief moment of your time today, and we'll let you get back to your original or normal agenda.
Thank you, Reese. Next, I'm going to ask Nancy to make an announcement.
Hi, CECon is next week, September 17th through 19th. You've got flyers on your table about it. Registration online is closed, but you can still do walk-up registration. There's always lots of room. There will be a lot of great presentations in drainage, transportation, structures, environmental, people from TxDOT, et cetera. One such presentation Friday morning is entitled The Story of the July 4th Guadalupe River Flood Event by the county engineer for Kerr County, Charlie Hastings, which is extremely relevant and timely. And I hope to see y'all at CECon next week. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. We have an announcement for the volunteer opportunity for the Dallas branch. We have a STEM activity at St. Philip's School on Tuesday, October 14th from 5:45 p.m. till 7:15 p.m. If you're interested, please contact Jones, Isaac, or come talk to me after the meeting. Next, I'm going to ask Carlos Negron to come for an announcement.
Thank you, Fadi. So, beginning of the school year, beginning of the football season, and of course, the beginning of Girl Scout season, right? So, on the slide, you'll see a lot of volunteer opportunities that are coming up. We've selected from the many offerings that they've given to us several that are STEM oriented for you to choose from starting in October. There's some in October, November, December, and January, which is one that I have participated along with Patrick, which they call the Mega Drop. My contact information is there on the QR code there, and please reach out to me if you're interested in volunteering. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. We're going to take a few minutes break, enjoy your lunch, network with the colleagues around you, and we will resume shortly. We are back, and next I'm going to ask Brad Hernandez, representing Omega Engineers, to talk to us as a sponsor.
Thank you, Fadi. It's great to see everyone, and just happy to be here today. It's kind of a great timing to be able to present to you all about Omega. One of them is I want to take just a moment here and thank all of our going out officers and volunteers of ASC. I know from past experience as the past president of this great organization how much time and effort it takes to be one of the best branches in the country. And so I just wanted to take a couple minutes and have everyone who volunteered and led this year to stand up and get a good round of applause before we see you off until the next board comes in. Stand up. Thank you for all the work that y'all do to help advance our industry here in North Texas. A little bit about Omega. We started in 1984 in Houston. Started as an H&H company. Over the years, we've grown. We still have a big H&H presence around the state. We've grown into other markets like transportation, general civil engineering, transit, utilities, and construction management. We have offices in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, El Paso, and also Dallas. One of the roles that I have here in the Dallas market is to grow. We're excited about that opportunity. We're excited to work with our clients, such as Dallas and others, provide our services. One of the things that thank you for, one of the things that I wanted to bring to this company is the service of being our client's trusted advisor, growing an office with employees that have the same values as us. And we're very fortunate. We have Amanda, who's going to be your president here one day, and her and I share those same values to grow and help our clients deliver their programs. So I want to tell Fadi, thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here today. Look forward to speaking with everyone here and have an opportunity to work together in the near future. And thank you, Dev, for speaking to our group.
Thank you, Brad. And now, what everyone has been waiting for, I'm going to ask Elaine to introduce the keynote speaker.
All right, thank you so much, Fadi. Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker today, Ms. Rastogi, the Assistant City Manager over the Sustainable Portfolio for the City of Dallas. Deb assumed this role in July 2024, providing executive oversight for the city's departments of aviation, Dallas Water Utilities, Transportation and Public Works, and the Office of Bound and Construction Management. She brings 40 years of professional experience delivering innovative solutions for complex infrastructure projects across North Texas. Her proven track record of success spans clients such as City of Dallas, DFW International Airport, DART, NCT COG, TxDOT, Trinity Metro, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Before joining the city, Deb served as a senior vice president and Dallas-Fort Worth Metro executive at AECOM, where she also led transportation across the Gulf Coast region. She is a licensed professional engineer in Texas with a civil engineering degree from Washington University. Her leadership and contribution have been well recognized, including being named Dallas Engineer of the Year by the Texas Society of Professional Engineers. Today, Deb will be sharing insights on the Dallas Bound program. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Deb.
Afternoon, everybody. Can you all hear me? Right. I'm gonna rig this up so I can see you guys because I didn't want to be behind this podium to where I could see you. So, anyway, thank you so much for having me. As you heard, I've been with the city now for about 14 months. This is my first presentation, so you guys get to see the test version. No pressure. Can't hear me? All right, is this better? Sophia, she's my gauge out there. So anyway, I want to first start by asking my city staff that's here to please stand up. I know that there are a number of you out in the audience. And we got one over here too, right next to so I have to tell you that one of the insights that I have coming to work for the city is that we have some incredibly talented people working for the city, and we're very fortunate to have them. So I'm going to start out by asking you guys a few questions. So how many of you live in Dallas? Right? How many of you work in Dallas? Excellent. How many of you do business with the city of Dallas? And then how many of you want to do business with the city of Dallas? Okay, I think that's the right answer. I think I saw every hand go up. So I've got somebody working the slides, right? So if we could go ahead and go to the next slide, please. I've heard that it takes a minute for these to sync up. So just a quick overview of the presentation today. So I know that many of you are interested in the bond program and many of you are interested in the convention center. That's what I was told. However, I wanted to share some insights with you on the overall portfolio that I'm responsible for. So this is kind of what we're going to go through. Some of it we may go through a little bit faster because I want to make sure we have time for you to ask questions at the end. So next slide. Okay, so Kimberly Beiser Tolbert was named interim city manager in May of 2024, and then she was named our permanent city manager in January of 2025. And so one of the first things that Kim did when she assumed the role, her 100-day plan was really about organizing the city for success. And so these are her words: to build a safe, vibrant, growing Dallas by transforming our foundational structure to becoming more livable, sustainable, and fiscally sound with strong aligned systems at its core. And so you can sort of see this is the way the city is organized into these 7 pillars. Next slide. So the portfolio that I'm responsible for is officially called the sustainable portfolio. And so when they told me it was a sustainable portfolio, I said, well, we got to add build in front of it because we're engineers. We build the city's infrastructure. So I call us the build and sustain portfolio. And this is the leadership team that I get the privilege of working with. And so we have Patrick Carino, who's the director of aviation, Jenny Nicewander, who's in the audience. Jenny, raise your hand. Bond and Construction Management Office. Sarah Sandford, Dallas Water Utilities Director, and Dr. Gus Concarly, the Transportation and Public Works Director. And so when I took on this role, we started to talk about leadership and culture. And what is it that I want and we want collectively for the Build and Sustain team to do when they come to work every day? And so we started putting words together and, kind of kept working at it till it sounded, like something that we could really feel as a shared purpose. And so our shared purpose is to deliver customer-focused, industry-leading infrastructure that is resilient, sustainable, and future-forward. And I don't know about you guys, but that speaks to me. And I think that many of you who do work for us, we want you to sort of infuse that shared purpose into the work that you do at the city. Next slide. All right, so I'm going to touch on each of the departments. Now, any one of these departments individually has a lot going on at all times. So I'm particularly proud of every single one of them. So if you didn't know, the Dallas Love Field is the #1 medium hub airport in the U.S. and #3 for private jet traffic. We also have the world's largest urban elevated heliport vertiport at the convention center. And then the Department of Aviation is also responsible for Redbird, but also known as the Dallas Executive Airport. And they were a finalist for the Oak Cliff Chamber Business of the Year. So we have incredible aviation assets at the city. And a couple of things that if you're not aware of, you should be aware of is that we're in the middle of developing our terminal area master plan. We have some new concession programming that's coming on board, and so just be aware that these are projects that you or your firms may be interested in. Next slide. Okay, Dallas Water Utilities. So Dallas Water Utilities is the 9th largest utility in the U.S., serving 2.6 million people. I did not know that when I took this job, but it's incredible. The Dallas Water Utilities is an incredible asset, not only for the city of Dallas, but for the entire North Texas community. And, this department, one of the things that the Water Utility Department is responsible for is both water and wastewater, as well as stormwater. And so if you're a resident in Dallas, you should be really proud of the fact that we are a FEMA CRS Class 3 community. And what that means to each of you is that you get to save a little bit of money on your flood insurance. Basically, Water Utilities has a $1.2 billion operating capital budget, and that means about $300 to $400 million of capital projects annually. And so we've listed a couple of projects because I thought maybe some of you might be interested in what we have coming up. And so there's the Sorcy Custom City Pump Station Improvement Project that's going to be coming out this fall, and then some water, wastewater replacement design work at the spring of next year. Next slide. So Transportation and Public Works is the third department that I'm responsible for. It's part of my portfolio. And I don't know if you guys know, but the Transportation and Public Works Department is responsible for 11,700 lane miles of street work. And Sophia raised your hand, our city engineer, Sophia Harvey, who's responsible for the streets, is in the audience, doing some incredible work. And some of the things that are important about our Transportation and Public Works Department is the number one issue that city residents talk about is the condition of our streets. It's the number one community priority, and so we're really investing a lot in that. A couple of things that are important is we just passed our bike plan, our 2025 bike plan, and then we also are very focused on Vision Zero. Vision Zero is kind of our framework, similar to some of you may be familiar with TxDOT's Vision Zero. It's essentially we're looking to reduce the deaths and injuries on our roadways, and so we've got a lot of safety enhancement projects. And so, the other thing about Transportation and Public Works projects are funded generally through our general fund, but also through our public work or our bond program. And so we'll talk about that a little bit more. Next slide. Okay, now this is what you guys wanted to hear about, which is the bond program. And so in 2024, the voters overwhelmingly approved a $1.2 billion bond program. And so this program covers different multiple propositions, and the thing that one of the things that I thought about as I took on this role is that in the past the city has had a number of bond programs, and I remember being in some of your seats in the past thinking, how can we do this better? How come it takes so long for us to deliver bond projects? And so one of the things that Jenny and the team is really focused on is how do we plan and deliver these projects in a better way? And so that's one of the key areas of focus. The other thing is that the largest project in the 2024 bond program is a police academy. And so we've been working really hard this first year, and we're going to be continue to work on delivering that really important project. So the bond office is responsible for managing and making sure that all of the projects get delivered, but they're also responsible for the facility projects, and so fire stations and libraries are under their leadership. Next slide, please. So what you see here is kind of the plan of how we're going to deliver this $1.25 billion. And so in this current fiscal year, what we're looking at doing is we're looking at selling $250 million of bonds every year. And then what we do is we look at, well, where are we going to put that money and how are we going to allocate the money? And so, as I mentioned, the number one issue is streets and transportation. So the bulk of the dollars in the 1.25 is coming out of the streets proposition or Prop A. Second is parks and recreation, flood protection and storm drainage is next, and you guys can kind of look at the list. And so the reason why I wanted to share this with you is we look at this on an annual basis. So in this next fiscal year, what we did was we actually pulled money forward from the street program so we could do more street work in the coming year than what we had previously planned on. So this is kind of the game plan for what we're gonna accomplish and how we're gonna accomplish it in the bond program. Next slide, please. All right, so one of the things that we've been doing is we want to make sure we have a lot of transparency around the bond program. Is something that the voters voted on. The city council wants to hold us accountable for delivering the program, and so we do have a website, and there's lots of information that you can find about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so we're not only looking at being able to share with you the projects that we have, but also just kind of making you aware of where we're able to encumber money, what we're forecasting. So it provides everybody an idea of what the program is, what's happening with the program. So a couple of these slides, we've got QR codes on, and I know that we're going to be sharing this deck out. So if you don't happen to get the QR code, I'm sure you'll be able to take it from the deck. Next slide. Okay, this is just another view from the bond program. You can sort of see the dashboard. This shows that we're kind of, you can get a list of the projects that are coming up, and so we just wanted to share this information. Next slide. Okay, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about this Law Enforcement Academy at University of Texas at Dallas. How many of you have been following this project? Anybody in the audience? Okay, a couple. So, one of the things that we've been focused on is making sure we're planning and getting ready to deliver this important project. As I said, it is the number one project, or is the largest project in the bond program, and it's leveraging city dollars, state dollars, and private fundraising. So there's a lot of visibility on this particular project. And so this is kind of an overview, a site view of the project. Next slide. Okay, so the Law Enforcement Academy is a 20-acre site at the University of Texas at Dallas. Our plan is to break ground in 2026. We currently have an RFQ out for CMAR, which is going to be the delivery method for this project. And so we're going to have both in-house basic and in-service training. We're going to have buildings that house academic and scenario-based training. One of the things that our police department is particularly excited about is a separate building for tactics training. And then in addition to administrative offices, we're also going to be partnering with UNT Dallas with the Criminal Justice Center. So our law enforcement officers will be able to take classes from their faculty. So a really interesting, unique project that we're delivering through the bond program. Next slide. Okay, now some of you wanted to hear about the convention center. So this is sort of a visual image. It's one of those typical beautiful renderings that I'm fascinated to see if this is how the facility will end up looking at the end of the day. But it is a beautiful image. Next slide. So we went through a couple of key milestones with respect to the convention center this past year. So the convention center is going to be a really challenging project because not only are we building a new convention center, FIFA's International Broadcast Center is going to be located there. And so the city council approved that use. And then FIFA confirmed that we were, in fact, selected to be the International Broadcast Center. We started looking at all of the land around the convention center and thought we needed some more property, so we purchased the Dallas Morning News site, and then we picked sort of the preferred alternative, and we're starting to design what we're calling component one. Next slide. So this is just another sort of image of all of the different parts of the convention center. So many people think about the convention center and they think, oh, it's just a convention center, but there are actually several different components in the overall convention center project. I'm going to probably focus my remarks on just the convention center itself, but there's also you know, T-ball, there's the auditorium, there's all kinds of different pieces that are actually considered the convention center project. Next slide. So this is another image that of what one day you know, this whole area may look like, and you sort of get a point of reference. You know, if you're familiar with Dallas, you can see sort of where the Bank of America Tower is. And so, you know, there's the convention center and then the arena, lots of green space, new roadways. I don't know if you can see where sort of their landmarks are, but, you know, this is really going to transform this part of Dallas. If you can sort of imagine what it looks like today and what this might look like. Next slide. So the timeline for what's happening at the convention center, I think, is sort of important to know, especially for those of you who are going to be who work or spend time downtown. So we're starting what's called the pre-enabling works for the project, and so those are going to be starting in December of this year, completing in March of 2026. And then we've got some contractual deliverables with FIFA. And then I mentioned that the project is not just the convention center itself. There's the Memorial Arena that's going to be delivered by 2027. The Academy of Arts and Letters delivered by 2028. And then the expansion, the actual convention center, the plan is to have that done by 2029, which, you know, feels like it's right around the corner for me. Next slide. So here's a little bit more drilling into how we're going to do this before FIFA. So if you can take a look at this graphic. So we've got certain halls that we're going to be demoing and others that are going to remain open through the course of the project. I think when people think we're going to demo the convention center, we're going to get rid of the whole thing, and that's not the plan. So the first thing, which we've already kind of started to do, is to sort of separate out different parts of the building. And that's sort of demo one. And then demo two is really a partial demolition of the Jefferson Boulevard viaduct. And then, you know, we're going to also be thinking about access, roadway access. So there's probably going to be some conversions to streets from one-way to two-way. And then, again, some more demolition with the Dallas Morning News site and other city control properties. So that's going to be happening between now and January of 2026. Next slide. And then during FIFA, so we're looking at this period from January 14th through August 24th. And so the quiet period, which is really sort of when the broadcasters are going to want to be broadcasting, we've got limit the amount of construction. We've got no construction here, but I think we're really kind of looking at the decibel levels that might be acceptable to the FIFA broadcasters and see if we can't get some work done, and then making sure we've got Lamar open to traffic. Next slide. So once we get past FIFA, here's what the game plan is to get to 2029. So we're going to start, decommissioning some of the the halls that we kept open for FIFA, and then just moving through the logistics area, because one of the things that you have to think about is this is a highly congested area downtown. You got to think about how are we going to keep everything moving? What are we going to do to make sure we can't really take more city streets or anything to work through equipment and stuff. So this is the game plan that we have so far. Next slide. Okay, that's all the news that I have on the convention center. So I figured some of you guys might already be doing work for the city, some not. And so if you are not registered as a vendor, that's what you need to do as step number one. So register on Bonfire, and here's the QR code. The next slide is going to be how you can find out about procurements. And so if you want to propose on a city project, this is where you can go to the procurement website, and we've got a link to some FAQs. Next slide. And finally, I wanted to give you guys an update on our business inclusion development program. I recognize a number of you, I know a number of you have participated in the MWBE program, which was adopted in 2008. However, due to federal executive orders, in June, we suspended that program. And so what's happening now is the Office of Procurement is is removing certain things from our solicitations to make sure we're compliant. The city gets over $300 million in federal grants, and so this is something that we felt like we needed to do to make sure we don't put any of those grants in jeopardy. And so what is happening right now is we're in the process of a new program called the Dallas Capacity Building Collaborative. And, basically this is going to be more of a local small business program. We're still in the development phase of it and working with partners like Dallas College, the SBA, Civics Marketplace, and others to continue to give us guidance and provide some outreach assistance to us as we develop this new program. Next slide. Okay, one of the other things that I learned about the city when I came on board was the importance of having the 311 app on my phone. Does anybody have the 311 app on their phone? Excellent. Only a couple of people, so you guys can go to the App Store and find it. But seriously, a lot of what we do is respond to the needs of the community, and we can't be everywhere. And so, having people like yourself who know what's going on and can connect us to issues and problems is really a critical way for us to get information. And the thing I love about the 311 app is we can drill down and understand some of the issues and concerns that are happening out in the community, and hopefully we can be more proactive about how to address those needs. So if you haven't, download the 311 app. One more slide on this, because you can call 311 or you can download the app. So that's kind of the service request process. And I really would encourage you guys to use it and provide us feedback, because it's important that as we think about being customer focused, that we understand the issues and know how to respond. Next slide. Okay. Well, so in closing, a couple of things that I also wanted to share with you guys is, um, you know, one of the things that our city manager does is she uses words. She communicates, and so these are some of the words that I wanted to leave you with: is connect, collaborate, and communicate. Those are three guiding principles that we have as a city leadership team. We want to be connected with the community. We want to collaborate with you. And we want to spend time talking about the issues. The other thing is she comes from a real service orientation. So it's service first with the urgency of now, which is why, we try to do our best to respond quickly to the 311 requests. And so finally, as Kim likes to say, we built the momentum. Let's keep running up the score and put Dallas at the top of the leaderboard where we belong. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm happy to take some questions. Do I get to pick, or do you guys pick the? I can pick. Okay, Mark, you're the first one. No tough questions. I'm going to defer them.
Oh, Dev, tough questions. Come on. I have to just tell you from the Texas section deck, and of course, as being a long-time member of the Dallas branch and past president of the Dallas branch, I wanted to thank you for saving the first for first. So this is your first, the best for first. I got that wrong. But we really, really appreciate you coming in and being your first speaker. Your first engagement. That's amazing. Thank you. I want to let you know that as the Texas section and as the Dallas branch, we have the city's back on bonds. We go every single year to Washington, D.C., to our legislative fly-in. And every single year, there are whispers about eliminating the tax breaks of municipal bonds. The Budget and Reconciliation Committee, they talk about it, say, where are we going to get this revenue? Oh, we can get it from over here. And we are over there going, we're not whispering, we're shouting, we're going, no, 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 no. This is a key tool in our toolbox for infrastructure development. And I don't have any particular question for you, just saying, keep going and doing what you're doing. We're so glad to see you in this position. Many of us have known you for so many years, Deb, and we're thrilled. In case you didn't hear from a bunch of people, which you should have, we are thrilled you're up there doing this job. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mark. And first of all, thanks for the advocacy. It's super, super important. We're right here at budget season. So when I got here last year and we were, rolling out the budget, I was like, okay, well, I could read it and understand it. They didn't let me do much with it. So this year I got a front row seat to the budget process. And we have so many things that we need to do for our city. And so having lots of different tools to fund these projects is really super important. So it's a $5.2 billion budget. We went through amendments last Wednesday, and they didn't change the overall. They moved a little bit of money around, gave the Transportation and Public Works a little bit more money. But it's appreciated that organizations like ASC helps us.
Hi, I'm Courtney Kelly, Project Director for H.J. Russell & Company. We're in a room full of engineers and constructors. What can we be doing as an entity and as individuals to help you in your efforts, whether it be the city or your individual department?
Well, thank you for that question. It's really, I feel at home being in front of a bunch of engineers and constructors. When they put me in front of city council, it makes me a little bit nervous. But engineers, I think the big thing that's important to me is project delivery. For some reason, I feel like the city of Dallas has, for a period of time, maybe lost its reputation in being able to deliver projects in a timely manner. And, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody or anything, but I think that it really is in this important time critical that we deliver projects. You know, City Council wants to hold us accountable, and we need to hold ourselves accountable. So I just would love for you guys to think about how you can help us innovate and deliver projects just as fast as we can and as efficiently as we can. You know, we're looking at, you know, we're using CMAR, we're using different tools. You know, a lot of what we do is design, bid, build. But I know, having been on that side, that there's all kinds of things that you guys are thinking about and innovating, and just bring those to the table. Okay, one more chance. And, oh, I don't know how to do the online questions or the, how do I find that? Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for having me. Those of you who have feedback on my first presentation, be sure and let me know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Steph, for a very informative presentation and sharing the latest from the city with us. On behalf of ASE Dallas Branch, I'd like to present you with a small token of appreciation.
Thank you, Elaine. Next month is our annual meeting and officer installation. It'll be on the third Monday this time. It's on October 20th. Our keynote speaker will be Carol Haddock. She's the ASE National President-elect. Registration is already open. You can go to dallasase.org under News and Events and find it to register. Next, I'm going to ask Brad, as the sponsor, to pick the ticket of the raffle. The winning number is 2908903. Here we go. All right. Hope to see you next month. The meeting is adjourned.